Hey, what's up, guys? CCox97 here with The Walking Dead Volume 13, Too Far Gone summary. Now, this is the last volume, up to date at least, and then we'll be going straight to the regular comic books. So, yeah, this is, pretty big. Right now, there are a total of 83 comic books, and the 84th is coming out this Wednesday, or at least it's supposed to. It might not, but it's supposed to. Now, this volume starts at number 73, so we're only 10 behind. So we're really getting caught up here, and things are going to turn a little crazy at this point. So let's get her going. So, number 12 ended with Rick asking Glenn, because basically all their guns are kept in the armory, and he doesn't want the guns there. He knows that in order to protect this place, they need the guns. He's not following the rules. He's not being quite himself lately. It's been kind of weird. So we start off, Abraham and Rosita are sleeping, but Abraham actually isn't sleeping. He's very nervous. He's going to be on the construction crew, and he doesn't want to go out there again. He just, because, it's really not safe out there, and he doesn't want to go out there because, things might happen. Rick is pouring cereal for Carl. Carl points out the mom used to make him cereal. He starts to get upset, remembering his mom. Morgan and Michonne, they had fun together, but they realized that it was a mistake because he still, can't get over the death of his wife. Morgan's a complete wreck. He's a complete wreck. Glenn and I forgot her name, some other chick that we don't really know a whole lot about. They're, hanging out. She was the chick who gave the haircut to Rick. They're talking and stuff. Now, Tobin and several other guys... Olivia, that's her name, Olivia, whatever. Tobin and several other people from the gunning group that saved Rick and Aaron and stuff in Washington, D.C., the gun people. They're like, alright, we gotta go and get some guns so that, while we're on the construction crew, we got guns to protect ourselves. So they go into the armory, lots of freaking guns in there, it's awesome. Glenn, after everyone leaves, unlocks the window so that they'll be able to sneak in there and get other guns and stuff. And Rick gives them the thumbs up, like, yeah, that's good. Spencer and his mom are talking. He doesn't seem to be very nice to her. They're not, getting along very well. She notices that he and Andrea are eyeing each other. Heath talks with Dr. Cloyd about Scott, who's still not doing very well. He busted his leg, but it's not healing, and he's getting worse and worse every day. He's got a fever, so he might be infected. So he asks if there's anything he can do, if he can go run in for supplies, try and get any medicine. There's a pharmacy in Washington, D.C. They can go and get them. So he and Glenn are going to go scout out into the city and try and find some meds for some pills here for Scott. Abraham is going on the construction crew. They're going out there and they're starting to work. This one guy, Bruce, the dude with the shades and the beard, this guy, he's really not being the nicest guy. Like, alright, are we ready? Yeah, it's really dangerous, so be freaking careful. Alright. Rick's walking around. He was about to climb into the window in the armory when he got spotted by Glenn. Oh, sorry, Glenn. Don't want anyone seeing me doing this. And so Glenn's like, yep, I got a couple guns, and so, we can hand them out to our people and stuff. So, on the construction crew, Bruce and Abraham are talking and chatting and stuff. Bruce points out that apparently the community is really fricked up. Douglas isn't the best leader, at least at Bruce's point of view. Bruce is being very negative. Apparently, to him, Douglas seems to put all the really hot chicks inside the community very close to Douglas, while all the really tough guys are sent outside on the construction crew. So, he's... his power is kind of taken over him, at least to Bruce. It might not be true, but, Bruce is noticing these kind of things, so, Abraham's just like, alright. They run into a couple zombies, they're driving away. Glenn got some guns for Rick, and they're gonna go walk away. He only got pistols, and a few, Douglas starts chatting with Rick, and Rick tries to hide the fact that they stole some guns. they're chatting and stuff, just understanding, I was just checking the walls and stuff, doing my job. Alright, cool. Back at the construction crew, Holly is with them, by the way. Holly Jolly with the Holly Christmas or whatever. They're still building some stuff, and they run into more zombies, and holy crap, lots of zombies, and two of them and a whole bunch of them start attacking Holly, and she's like, ah! And Abraham's like, come on, we gotta go save her, and the other guys are like, no, we need to stay in formation. What the frick is formation? They group up shoulder by shoulder, covering each direction, right there, and blam away, just start shooting at every single zombie. Abraham goes over and saves Holly, and she ends up saving him too, so they start kicking A somewhere else, and while that happens, everyone else, it's just a giant, big zombie attack, and Tobin and his crew kind of stop and look, and they see Abraham kicking A, and they're like, dang. And Glenn is talking with Rick on how they're going to spread out the pistols and stuff. Rick is going to have the really small pistol, or a small revolver, that way he can have it concealed. And Glenn, and they're talking over, wondering if a lot of them are going to have the guns. They're only going to tell the people that they're going to give the guns to, like Andrea, Michonne, people like that. Back at the construction crew, Abraham starts yelling at the guy, saying, what the frick was that, alright? You were going to let her die. And they say, it's our formation, alright? We don't risk other people. And Holly is very pissed at them and is really happy that Abraham saved her life. And he just says, that's what you're supposed to do, alright? That's just normal to save other people. I mean, geez, that was crazy. So Tobin, the leader of the construction crew, just got kicked in the nuts. So that's gotta hurt. So, Abraham's going to now take over for the construction crew, since he's like, alright, this is how it's going to go if I'm going to work here, alright? That's not how we're going to do it, okay? So Abraham's now leading the construction crew. Great. So Holly, thanks Abraham for saving her life. Rick is trying to give the gun to Andrea, but she says, no, I don't want the gun, okay? This is a nice place, and I don't want to get kicked out. They kind of chat over, thinking, like, is this right? Is this wrong? Why are you doing this? And he says, I'm just being careful, okay? And he points out that the reason that Carl, he almost accidentally tells Andrea that Carl killed Ben, but then he realizes, oh wait, I can't tell her that, because that'll probably really piss her off. And Rick just kind of tells her that ever since we've been here, Carl has been so negative and has hated this place and stuff, and I have a feeling this might be his last chance of, holding on to his humanity, because recently, Carl hasn't been a normal kid at all. He's been he's just been kind of weird lately. He's changing a lot. The surroundings have changed his character a lot. Tobin goes to have a chat with Douglas, and Douglas is saying, I understand that Abraham has taken over the construction crew. Tobin actually feels a lot of remorse for his other actions, because apparently the whole, shoulder-to-shoulder plan has apparently gotten a lot of people killed. Well, he's happy that Abraham has, taken over the place, because now no one's dying, and things are getting completed much quicker now. We don't run away. If we run into one zombie, we just kill them. We keep moving, keep working, Tobin seems to be very happy. This is Tobin, by the way, if you guys don't know what he looks like. That guy. And he seems very happy about, Rick's group joining. And, so, more trust issues, kind of, but, things are looking up. Go. So, the new section of the community opens up. They got a church and everything, so they're splitting up into the houses. Carl doesn't want to move in, chatting and stuff. Eugene is saying, yeah, I got to have my own place. And, be happy. Frick, you lied to us. Whatever. Rick also pointed out to Abraham, I don't know when it was, but he pointed out that if Eugene hadn't come along, they probably wouldn't have found this place. So maybe they got something to thank Eugene for. Plus, Eugene also healed Glenn, if you remember in Volume 11. He healed Glenn from his wound, so he's got some redeeming qualities. Gabriel is doing his job as the priest. They all really like the sermon and stuff. Gabriel starts crying and just says, thank you, Lord, I will never question you again. Because apparently he was very questioning him, and now he realizes that this is why he was joined with Rick's group, not to die, but to find his own place again in life. Alright, nice for him. Good for him. So, Heath gets the list of meds that he needs to get for Scott. He talks to Scott. Scott is really not looking too good, so Heath planning to come back and return. He and Glenn are going to move with only pistols out into the city to go get them. Glenn goes and says goodbye to Maggie. They're very worried, you know. But they're moving out, just them two, the two runners. My head is very scratchy today, or itchy. Michonne and Rick are, you know, chatting and stuff. And they're talking over, you know, wondering why, you know, is this place, you know... I mean, they're talking about how unrealistic things are. You know, I had to help this lady plant a, you know, garden the other day. I mean, it's so freaking weird, right? She asks Rick if he's talked to Lori recently, and he just kind of gives her the look like, and she's like, all right, sorry. He hasn't talked to her in a while. Glenn and Heath are on top of the rooftops. They're swinging across a rope. They have a close call. Glenn almost falls down, but he makes it. Gabriel is still praying and stuff. Glenn makes it over to the next rooftop. Heath says, alright, this alley is usually clear. Let's go. What's wrong? It ain't clear today. Frickin' lots of zombies down there. So they're gonna stay up there and sleep through the night. Hopefully they'll clear out tomorrow. Gabriel walks in to Douglas's house that night, and Douglas is like, what do you want to talk to me about? And Gabriel basically just says that the people of my group, you can't trust them. You need to kick them out of here now. They're bad people. They have done unspeakable and horrible things. They just simply do not belong here. And Douglas is like, what the frick? What are you talking about? These people are awesome. He says, these people are dangerous. I've seen, you know, I mean, they may have told you things that they have done, but I'm pretty sure they haven't told you all of it. I mean, they've killed people so much, and Gabriel tries to make Douglas understand, but Douglas just says, I understand what they've done to survive. It's perfectly normal, and I don't want you to be telling me this because it's stupid, alright? Don't make me kick you out. So Gabriel's basically being a tattletale, blah, blah, blah. Rick is watching over Carl, and Carl is sleeping. He's, like, starting to feel like home, and, Glenn and Heath are having trouble sleeping at night, just wondering why all the zombies are down there, you know, what's got their attention. That morning, you know, Rick is doing his, you know, usual stroll around the neighborhood because he's the constable and everything. He notices that Pete, the father of the kid, Ron, the kid with the black eye that Rick noticed immediately, notices that he's sleeping out on the porch. He asks him why, because it's pretty cold out here, and he says, me and my wife Jessie, we've been arguing and stuff, and I'm going to sleep out here for now. So Rick's like, oh, why don't you, you know, talk with her about that, because I don't want you to be sleeping out here. It's not good for you. So he's like, alright, thanks. And he walks away, and Rick turns around and gives him a really nasty look, like, because, apparently he's very suspicious of why Ron has the black eye and stuff. So, that morning, Heath is like, hey, you awake, Glenn? Yeah, I've been watching, and apparently, the reason all the zombies have been crowded around there is because, there are other survivors in the store, in the pharmacy where they're heading. So, okay. They, notice these guys, and all of a sudden, one of them pushes the other out into the crowd of zombies and says, we've been trapped in here a week, this is the only way, quick, while they're distracted. And all the zombies start eating the guy that they pushed away, so they just basically killed their own man to escape, so they're freaking mean people, so, you know, Glenn and Heath are just like, oh, jeez. So they're gonna move down and get into the pharmacy, get some stuff quickly. Michonne and Rick are chatting and stuff, and Rick is talking with her about, he noticed, you know, Pete and stuff, with, you know, that family. It's really weird, and, I mean, he's asking whether or not he should stick his nose in or not, and she says, it's your job, so you might as well, and he says, alright, I don't want anything bad to happen, though. So, he walks over to the house, and Jessie is outside, the wife, she's fixing stuff, and he, is talking with her, and he asks her about, you know, if Pete has been, you know, abusive at all, if he's been hitting you, or Ron, and at first she's very defensive, but eventually she gives in, and reveals that, yeah, he has been beating her, and she's terrified of him. She doesn't usually beat Ron, but that black eye is from Pete. So he's an abusive husband, and Rick doesn't like that at all. But when he was about to leave, Pete actually showed up in the house, so it was like, whoa, okay, you know, everything's fine. I was just, you know, talking with her about the kids and stuff, you know, thinking of hanging out. So Jesse's completely terrified of him, and Rick is really worried about them. Back at the pharmacy, Glenn and Heath are getting the meds and stuff. They're trying to get as much as they can. They don't really know what any of it is. They're just hoping they can save Scott's life. Heath saves Glenn's life from a zombie. Back at the New Alexandria. I just noticed that's a level in Halo Reach, New Alexandria. Whatever. Anyway, Douglas is at apparently they have a cemetery where the tombstones are made out of wood and they carve in the name. And he's been standing there, you know, dwelling on the past and stuff, all the people that they've lost, so that's nice. And Rick talks with him. Apparently, Rick is, very angry about Pete, and he points it out to Douglas, like, I believe he's been abusing them, and Douglas is like, well, I know, but, we can't kick him out of here. Why? Well, he's a doctor here.